All right, on today's show, we are exploring big Instagram updates, the ones we need to know the most about as marketers, including some new customization options that are going to let you set things up so that when someone first comes to your profile, they get to see you get to show them what you want to show them, which will be really, really exciting. Also, some updates with the Edits app, which is becoming more and more integrated directly with Instagram, along with some other really powerful tools for us as marketers to make things easier and faster. All right, we're going to jump into all of that right now. My name is Jerry Potter, host of the Social Media Marketing Talk Show, a Social Media Examiner production. We break down all the latest social media news and what it means for marketers like you. Today, I'm joined by Elizabeth Marbury. Elizabeth is an Instagram marketing strategist who helps small businesses drive more organic leads and sales. She also hosts the Strut It Bold Visibility Through Instagram Marketing podcast. Elizabeth, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Jerry, for having me. I'm super excited.
Yeah, so let's jump in, starting off with some updates around how we can customize our Instagram grid, which I think is always very helpful because we don't necessarily want someone new to our business to see the newest stuff all the time. So what are some of these updates? What can you tell us about these?
So this is a feature that marketers and creators have been begging for from Instagram. And there are two reasons why I am so excited about this feature. Number one is for any brand or business that cares about the aesthetic of their feed, meaning like how it looks, like the curation of that first impression of your storefront. This is a game changer because now you have control. That's the key, right? You have control over those top 9 posts, people's first impressions. So from just a beauty standpoint, I think it's really great for brands that value that. From a marketing and strategy standpoint, I'm very excited about this because let's say you had a reel that popped off and it led to your lead magnet, right? Like comment this keyword, grab my freebie, and you know, not every piece that we post is going to do well, right? But now when you have one that you know drives conversions, you can move that toward the top of your grid. And right now we can only pin 3 posts. So it's going to be a game changer because now we can be strategic about, you know, what is the goal of our account? Are we driving people to our lead magnet? Are we just wanting to show our most successful content out there? So I just love it from those two aspects.
Yeah, well, and that's a fantastic way to look at it, that at this opportunity to obviously put your best foot forward every time. I also love, I remember a couple years ago when some people started deleting all their posts or archiving all their posts and just having 9 just so they could have a specific thing there.
Oh
so I thought about some of those people and I was like, I wonder if now they're like, oh, I could have kept all my stuff and, you know, still had those 9 exact things there. But yeah, it's interesting to think about because when somebody does check out our profiles, it's usually early on in the customer journey, right? It's not unless you send them there for something. And so, yeah, this is a great opportunity to, like you said, have them go to the ones that go to your lead magnets and everything like that.
Yes.
Now, speaking of the grid, first, obviously, everything was square on Instagram, and then they introduced 4x5, the taller ones, which is great because it takes up so much of the feed post, or so much of the feed. And now they are introducing a new size image for this. So what is this update? This is going to be a shorter, fatter image. Is that the best way to describe it?
So this is a 3x4 aspect ratio photo format. And this is huge for creators and businesses that leverage photography and photos in their work. Because why this is so helpful, and again, people are like, thank you, is this is aligned with the vertical format of our phones, right? Most of us are capturing photography and content on our smartphones. And in the past, what we had to do is go into Canva and tweak it and fix the ratio so it would look good on Instagram. Now you don't have to do that. And anytime you can reduce friction, it's going to help marketers and businesses to post more consistently, right? Because if I can just click a photo on my phone and post it and it looks like the ratio is spot on, just like it is on my phone, gosh, that saves me so much time in, you know, the back end of editing. So I'm excited about this for anyone who is posting photos.
Yeah, I think the thing to keep in mind is, you know, the beauty of the 4x5 with that, you know, extra screen space as somebody's scrolling, it was definitely an opportunity. But like you said, for photographers or certain people that are trying to, I think we've all tried to post a photo over the years and you're like, you can't make this work as a square, right? It just doesn't make any sense. So, yeah. By the way, this does also apply to carousel posts, so it's good to know that it's kind of part of that as well. So,
Yeah,
all right, we've
that's
got some
huge.
other Instagram updates we're going to jump into here in just a second. If you feel like you wish you had more time for the tasks that you actually enjoy, you want to stop drowning in the repetitive tasks that drain all your creative energy. AI is obviously changing what all of us can do as marketers and what all of us will do as marketers in the future. You can, automate your content creation, streamline data analysis, handle routine workflows, giving you back precious time for strategy and innovation. And if you want to do this as fast as possible to become an AI enhanced marketer, you got to join the AI Business Society. MJ Johnston, who's a member, said, I had an amazing automation training that has changed my life. That was worth like the whole year's fee right there. So if you are ready to reclaim your time, go to socialmediaexaminer.com/AI business to check out the AI Business Society and join today. Again, socialmediaexaminer.com/AI business. All right. So the Edits app, they're trying to make it obviously easier for all of us to make content and publish quickly, like you said. We've got a couple of interesting updates around that. So what are we seeing rolling out in Instagram's Edits app?
Yeah, so this is live. Edits recently launched the teleprompter option, and I love this for anyone who is wanting to record those direct to camera reels where you are, or other people call them talking head, where you are speaking directly to the camera. Let's say you have a script. In the past, you would have had to do what I did, which is look at your notes, film a sentence, look at your notes, film a sentence. Now, with this teleprompter option embedded inside of the Edits app, it is so cool. You tap on it, it pops up as a little box. You copy and paste your script. And then the best part, I'm always telling my clients, look at the camera. Otherwise, it looks like you're looking down. It's super awkward. So now you can look straight at the camera while you're reading your notes. And I think it is a game changer for people who are lacking confidence on camera too. You know, so many people are like, oh, I want to record those direct to camera videos, but I kind of freeze and I don't know what to say. So, no excuses. You can just put your notes up there. And yeah, I used the teleprompter app yesterday and I was amazed at just how helpful it is. And you can adjust the speed of it. So it was kind of going a little too fast for me. Apparently, I read a little slower than most. And so I was able to slow it down. And for those of us who need glasses, you can make, the text bigger or smaller. So I actually really love how this again reduces frictions for us to show up and do those direct to camera videos because those are becoming more and more important if you want to stand out on Instagram, especially with the AI revolution that we are all in right now.
Yeah, and so you said you can copy and paste the script in there. So for example, I could still type it on my full keyboard because I have never gotten good at typing with my thumbs and then
Yeah.
have it in a doc or notes and then paste it in. Is that how you would recommend
That's
doing
what
it?
I would totally recommend doing is have it all written out. And I actually use AI to formulate all of my scripts and then I kind of riff on those. But yeah, you just copy and paste it from wherever you would work that out, Google Doc or your notes app on your phone and super easy. Or of course, if you wish to just straight type in the Edits app, you're welcome to do that too. And I know you
Mhm.
had mentioned the analytics piece. I love how the analytics piece looks in the Edits app. If you've looked at it, it feels a little bit more simple and intuitive, especially for people who are
Hmm.
not used to looking at the analytics. It shows you, your top views of your, recent videos in the last 30 days, and you can adjust that. And I just love, yeah, I love the breakdown of that. So I think it's going to be really helpful for people to be able to measure what's working and what's not, so they can do more of what's working for their business.
Yeah. So as time goes on, like just from what you've seen as much time as you spent about Instagram, watching them do what they do and trying to figure out the motivations behind it, where
Yes.
do you see the Instagram Edits app being for a different type of marketer or creator than the Instagram app? Like with your clients, are you recommending they create over there, or where do you see this going? Because obviously we have analytics in the regular Instagram app.
Yeah. That's such a good question. I've been curious about it too. I think, of course, Instagram launched it to be in competition with TikTok, right? With,
Yeah.
trying to go after that CapCut market share. And I think they saw when CapCut was off the market, they're like, this is our opportunity. I mean, I'm sure they've been working on it much longer than that. But um, Yeah, I honestly I haven't told my clients to fully just go into that, like to
Okay.
stop editing in Instagram and go to edits. There's a couple exceptions to that. So first of all, I'm a big believer that you need to edit your content where you feel most confident editing your content. So it's quick, it's easy, it's efficient. So I actually
Yes.
usually edit my content in Instagram. I'm so used to it.
Hmm.
And I don't do a ton of fancy edits. I'm a fan of like how simple yet effective can Instagram be for my brand and for the companies I work with. So I am not into like all the millions of bells and whistles. I'm just like,
Yeah.
what do we need to drive leads and sales and like grow a community? Like, and that's it. And so yeah, so I but what I will tell you about the edits app. So one of my clients is a uh a jewelry store. So I'm not just mentoring,
Hmm.
one solopreneur. I'm mentoring their whole like marketing team and sales team. And so they're all creating content for the business. Okay. So a whole team. And I actually love the edits app for them because they can log in and there's a projects board in there. So I think from a
Hmm.
workflow standpoint of communication within a team, it's very smart. I think you can
Okay.
label things, you can, put things, you can have sticky notes. So if you have an idea, like you're in a meeting like with Jerry and you're like, oh my God, he said this thing and I want to do that later, you could put it in there and then your team would have access to it. So I think from a team standpoint, it's cool. And I'm still getting to know it and master it. I always master these things before I
Yeah.
would, tell my clients to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's interesting about the team and the collaboration because obviously they're never going to add that probably to the regular Instagram app. So that is a clear
Yeah.
point of differentiation. And that was kind of what I was curious about. And yeah, back in January when CapCut went down, they were like, we have our own app. And then they were like, it's coming out soon. And then it's delayed. But
Yes,
anything that empowers people to be more creative, I'm a big fan of. So,
me
um,
too.
all right, this next update, I've seen a few people talk about this and blow it off because they say it's not a big deal. But when I worked at an agency, this would have been a really powerful tool, I think, for clients. But let me have you share what it is. It's about milestones, and I'll have you share what it is and any thoughts you have, and then I'll share what I mean by that.
I'm just like on the edge of my seat. I'm like, what is it? Like, what are you gonna say? Yes. Okay. So Instagram has, and this actually came up in my notifications just like a week ago, and I was like, what is this? So it's really cool. It's recaps and celebrations for creators. And essentially, what it does is you click on it and it kind of shows like you're watching a story. So it'll show you like
Hmm.
slide by slide by slide. And it's kind of like Instagram patting you on the back, I mean, like, good job, keep going. But essentially, it'll tell you this is how many followers you got in the last month. Congratulations. This is, your best performing reel. And it also will give you some tips to improve your content in the future your account needs that. And I am actually a huge fan of this. And it's Jerry, I'm curious if this is what you were kind of like
Yeah,
suggesting.
yeah. Steal my thunder. Go ahead. It's
Okay,
fine.
I'm going to steal your thunder. So, like as a mentor and coach to businesses who are constantly putting content out there, like we know that Instagram is a beast, like it is a beast. Like you're putting so much stuff out there and you're just like, "Oh, Elizabeth, it's like it's slow, it's hard, it's this." But then when you see those analytics and it actually will tell you like, "Wow, this reel is performing so much better than the other content that you've done," or wow, you gained 40 new followers last month. If they were kind of trickling in, maybe you didn't even notice and you're like, wait a second, it is working. So I think it's
Yeah,
brilliant from a motivation standpoint because we
yeah.
need to stay motivated. We got to stay in the game to be successful on Instagram for the long haul. So I love that.
Yeah, anything that makes it easier to stay on top of stuff, and especially if they're sort of spinning it to mostly be, you know, positive,
Positive.
cheering you on, as opposed to, well, I remember YouTube is my main platform, and when I first started,
Yeah.
you can look up how many unsubscribers you got on YouTube. In early days, I was like, well, I don't want to be looking there.
Yes.
But no, the thing I like about it is not only milestones are important for all of us as marketers, as business owners,
Mhm.
anything like that, but when I first got into speaking and talking about social media and teaching social media, I would teach people how the algorithm worked all the time. And obviously, there's been evolutions, but the most popular content on social media all time is celebratory content. And whenever I always use this, like for Facebook and Instagram, the best example is like somebody that you're connected with or you follow and you sort of forgot about, and all of a sudden they pop up in your feed again. It's almost always because they are celebrating something, right? Like on the personal level. And this is the one that people can see. So think about all of a sudden somebody comes up in your feed and you're like, I didn't know I was friends with them. I didn't know they were alive. Like whatever it might be. It's usually an engagement, a baby, a pregnancy announcement, a wedding, anything like that. And it's because initially their immediate friends were like, oh my God, this is amazing. Congratulations. And then the next circle out and the next circle out and the next circle out. And then eventually it got to you who forgot about them. But that's what essentially what happens with that stuff. And so I've always encouraged businesses to like use these milestones with humility. Right?
Yeah.
You don't go, wow, I'm amazing. I got 100 new followers. You know, you go, wow, thank you so much for helping us get there.
Yes. No, that's a great point. I didn't even think about looking at those analytics and saying like, wow, oh my gosh, you know, shout out. Thank you all so much. Like that's a fantastic idea, Jerry, of just taking those. And I love that too, because you're building that bridge with your community and you're pulling them behind the scenes. And it shows that you really care, you know, care about your growth and your community and your followers. So I love that.
Yeah, always with humility. That's the key. It's not the we've seen, businesses brag and, oh, we made new sales today or whatever. And it's like, that's the wrong audience there. So,
yeah.
All right. We've got some really cool updates coming to the DMs, whether you sell in the DMs or you just are managing customers in the DMs. I think this is going to be some really interesting stuff that we're seeing. So what are some of these updates that are rolling out in the DMs on Instagram?
Yes. So one rollout that I've had for quite a few months, but I know that this is still news because a lot of people don't have it yet, is voice memos on Instagram DMs. In the past, they could only be 1 minute long, but now they can be 5 minutes long. And Instagram is so smart and savvy, understanding that not everybody's going to be in a place where they can listen to a message. So now you can click on view transcription and read it, which I love that from an accessibility standpoint. I personally use this feature all the time. One, with private clients, I coach them audio coaching. That's part of my packages. And I liked, I can't keep it to 1 minute, Jerry. Like, we just have, you can tell it's hard for me to keep it to 1 minute. But I love, the length of, where I can serve my clients in a longer time period, but not just clients. I have people reach out to me and they're like, oh, I found you on your podcast. I'll send them a voice note back. And then we're just going back and forth. And I always tell people like voice notes are such a beautiful way to drive connections and build community and just go above and beyond with your marketing. I'm a huge fan of DM automation. I use it every day. And I always try to weave in like personal touches. And people are always shocked when they're like, oh my gosh, she actually she's speaking to me in the DMs. It's such a powerful tool. So that's the tool that I'm super, super excited about.
Yeah. I love voice as well. And it is so intimate. And I know I always try and send because I found them to be a little iffy, like whether they go through sometimes. So I always send a text, it's like, hey, something I was thinking about for you, ... And then I'll send the voice note.
I love that. That's smart.
I do have to say, I think I had the 5 minute limit for a while before I realized it, because I'm very much in the habit of like, oh, but hang on, let me start another message. Oh, hang on, let me start another. And I've sent like five in a row. And one day it was like 102. And I'm like, wait a minute, what just happened here? So
that's totally what happened to me too. I love that.
Yeah. And then there's one other feature in the DMs too, where if you have a group chat.
Yes. So if you are going to, let's say you go to a networking event and you hit it off with like 5 other people and you're like, we should stay in touch. You could create a group chat in the Instagram DMs. And now, in the past, you just have to go to each person's account, give them a follow. And now it's really cool. There's a button that just says follow all. And so you can just, with one quick click, you can follow everybody in the group chat. I think this is so smart for anyone who has a desire to create a group chat. I can think of so many different business models that for memberships or whatever it is. I've been a part of business coaching memberships where there's 20 women in the group and they're like, here's a list of everyone's social handles, like go follow everybody. Gosh, wouldn't it be so awesome if that was just like, here's a group chat. You literally just hit follow all, and now you're instantly, supporting each other. And it doesn't take you much time. And I think it's a really smart feature.
Yeah, yeah, I like that. And then also for, one of the big things we worry about as marketers is, fear of our own success is, okay, well, if the account gets too big, how do we manage it? How do we manage everything? But for some of the bigger accounts on Instagram now, they're rolling out some new ways to manage the comments section. So what are some of these updates?
Yeah, so Instagram just released that for bigger accounts, so accounts with over 100,000 followers, they are allowing comment filters. And in other words, so what they're going to do is they are going to you can essentially filter the comments by top comment, meaning what is the comment that's getting the most engagement from your community. So I think that one is probably the most important of the filters. Another one is you can see you can filter by follower count. So let's say you're Brock Johnson and you have 700,000 followers on Instagram. I mean, his comments are always just like hundreds, right? Like so many. And maybe he's just curious about looking at people's comments that have over 10,000 followers, right? So he could filter that out. So I think anytime you give a creator more control over their own content and their own workflow, like anything we can do to make Instagram more efficient, I'm a big fan of that.
Yeah. Yeah, which is exactly what we all need, just like we were talking about, with AI a few minutes back. So quick reminder, you can learn more about becoming an AI enhanced marketer. Go to socialmediaexaminer.com/AI business. Again, socialmediaexaminer.com/AI business. And Elizabeth, where is the best place for people to find out more about you?
Yeah. So if you love podcasts, I would love for you to listen to my podcast. Every Monday, I drop exactly what's working for businesses on Instagram. It's called Strut It, Bold Visibility Through Instagram Marketing. And of course, give me a follow and connect with me in the DMs on Instagram at Elizabeth Marberry, Marberry.
Awesome. And if you want to add another couple of podcasts to your listening lineup, we have two for you to check out: the Social Media Marketing Podcast, as well as AI Explored. Until next time, may you be wise with your marketing decisions. Thanks, everyone. Bye.